Good morning, fourth grade families. Today is NTI day 24. It's Thursday. The sun is out. Everything's good. I'm going to be getting this one posted probably a little bit later than I normally do and getting it recorded. Life happens a lot. Unexpected things happen, and we always have to remember when those unexpected things happen in our lives, we need to think about the only thing that we have control over is how we respond to them. This morning, our horses were out. Anybody that has animals at home and you discover you have a 1,000-pound animal wandering around the wilderness somewhere and you don't know where, it makes for an interesting start to your day. A very brisk morning for a good long walk, but all turned out just fine. Little fence work needs to be done, but you know what? It was unexpected. It started my day differently, but it's all about how I responded. And with everything going on in our world right now, it's how we're responding. If we start the day in a positive way and think about the good things, think about what is happening that's good, what hasn't happened that could be worse, maybe, I guess. So I hope that you have a good day today. And if something unexpected happens, think about how can you respond to make it better and not give in to the bad side of it. So anyhow, we're moving. I should be wide awake, that nice brisk walk this morning. But the horse is back in and we're all good. So I'm looking over your checklist today for day 24 and some things to get done today. You're going to complete for reading the reader's guide sheet for The Girl Who Loves Spiders. Dear Dr. Help. Math, you have your daily Common Core review, vocabulary review, a homework practice, and some videos along with that. And then in science today, you'll be reading about the adaptation of finches' beaks. Finches are small birds that you could see outside your window at home. And then your special is social emotional learning, which is something you probably would have talked to Miss Patty about if you met with her in class, and a social skills page. So make sure you're reading all the information. As I'm grading these, I'm discovering how important it is that we're reading the directions and the questions real closely. And because they almost could feel like they're tricking us. Maybe they're like an Anansi, but they're not. So as you're looking at today's reader's guide, there is The Girl Who Loves Spiders, Dr. Help. And imagine that Lewis is so afraid of spiders he writes to an advice columnist for help just after he moves to Florida. Take a close look at page 4 and 5. What would Lewis say about why he is afraid of spiders? So think about a lot of things. An advice columnist, what that is there are people who write articles or letters in a newspaper answering people's questions like, oh, I need help with this or I need help with that, and what do you think I should do? And this advice columnist takes these letters and does a little research, I would hope, and tries to answer them the best way they can to help people. They post them in a newspaper because a lot of times the same question one person's answering, there are other people who could benefit from that as well. So if you're Lewis and you're asking for help, think about a lot of things with this. Think about that he just moved. So in science, you're learning a lot about environment and habitats and things. Well, he's moving from New York, which is up in the Northeast, the climate, down to Florida, a very different climate. So think about his knowledge base, what he has, what he doesn't have, and what he would need help with in order to assist him. Like I said, go back to pages 4 and 5, which is the first and second page of the story, because it gives you a little bit of what's going on in Lewis's world. Take your time. Please write sentences that have capitals and ending punctuation. All right, math, working on some more number rules and patterns. And today in science is chapter 3, adaptations. Adaptation of finches' beaks. Go ahead and turn to that right now. Here we go. In 1831, scientists, including Charles Darwin, traveled around the world on a ship called HMS Beagle. Darwin was a naturalist. His job was to study plants and animals. The scientist reached the Galapagos Islands, a group of islands in the Pacific Ocean. There they found many interesting life forms. The scientists saw 13 species of finch, a kind of bird. Different species lived on different islands. The finches looked very much like one another. However, the scientists noticed that each species of finch had a different kind of beak. The beaks were different in size and shape. The scientists observed and recorded information about the islands where the finches lived, their food sources, and the shapes of their beaks. The scientists noted that the finches on the different islands ate different kinds of food. On each island, the finches with the best shape of beak for the kind of food on the island ate the most food and raised the most young. Eventually, all the finches on each island had the best beaks for the environment on their island. Each kind of beak was suited for getting a certain kind of food. Some of the finches ate seeds, others ate fruits and buds, and still others ate insects. The scientists saw that the seed eaters had thick, heavy beaks, which they used to crack open seeds. One kind of fruit eater had a short, stubby beak. Many of the insect eaters had thin, pointed beaks that allowed them to catch their prey. Scientists inferred that the differences in the beaks were adaptations to the kinds of foods the finches ate. An adaptation is a body part or behavior that helps a living thing meet its needs in its environment. Darwin explained that over a long time, the beaks of the finches had changed to help them get from their environment the food they needed. The finches, like other living things, became adapted to their environment. Okay, you have your 6 questions again, going back and rereading as needed, and let's look at your open response. Remembering, like Mrs. Slade has told you, use the terminology, use the science words, use the words I give you in the passage. Think about how the shape of the beaks is adapted to eat the available food. The finches on the Galapagos Islands had different types of beaks. A. Why do finches have different kinds of beaks? B. Look at the pictures of finches above. Observe their beaks. What do you think each kind of finch eats? Remember, restating is a great way to get started on answering these questions, and if you use that, that'll help you. If you can't remember all the details about the beaks, the shapes, remember these are basically the same kind of bird, but the difference is their beaks. Why are they different? And can you tell which ones these are and why? Okay, and then you're socially emotional. Well, I hope you have a fabulous day. Enjoy the sunshine. Keep working on these packets. They do matter. This is our schooling, and we are going to work together real hard to get to do these things. It is important. Get them taken care of. Most importantly, I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll see you soon.